Hey, bud. And talking those Iron Dog racers who tragically passed going through the ice on the ATV outside of Anchorage, the difference between overflow and like an open lead in the river obviously is a concern too when we're talking about spring type conditions. And I did it on 2025, and the potential when they go over to Yukon, the mountains, and are proceeding up the coast to the finish line in Nome. Open water in the Bering Sea. We saw aircraft go down, airplane in Bering Sea air, just a few weeks ago. And usually that's not an issue, but it can be an issue, and it has historically, I believe at some point in Iditarod's history over the last 30, 40 years, been an issue where there is, the race has to get rerouted because you can't go like from shaktoolik to koyuk on the sea ice because it's just not safe. I don't know if that's currently on the table as a potential problem, but specifically the difference between overflow is just when some of the ice, there's still ice underneath and there's just some water on top of the big base layer of ice, unlike the Yukon River or creek or something like that. The problem is, like when we saw like the big Sidna and these two snow machiners who competed in the 2025 Iron Dog snow machine race, tragically passed just yesterday or a few days ago down near Anchorage. The problem is it's not just overflow; it's actually unstable ice underneath. A little overflow is just on top. When there's nothing underneath, it's just river underneath. It can sweep someone away, and it's not, we're going through 2 feet of water. On top of a good 3-foot chunk of ice that's stable and that's level across there, and so it's the two different things, and it can be hard to judge in spring type, rotten ice conditions when you're in the backcountry in the bush of Alaska, whether it's just overflow or whether it's actually open water, like an open lead, in the river, in the actual river channel flowing through underneath there. Now, we saw some video footage of like Ryan Reddington, some of the mushers, and I did it on 2025 near Eagle Island on the Yukon River, go through some overflow that just looks like open water, and obviously it was just overflow. But the point is, at some point every year in the spring in the backcountry, bush Alaska, those rivers, you see it's an actual open lead where there's no ice and it just goes down into nothing, and you get sucked down underneath the ice and someone could die, and get swept away like we saw these Iron Dog racers in near the Big Sioux near Anchorage. So a lot of safety concerns in these warming climate conditions.